What is up, everybody? I'm super new to the podcast scene, but we're gonna have a fun time. I got my friend Jade here. Actually, one of my first friends in Subto. Well, actually, kind of before Subto, we became friends. So
Yeah,
she is killing it right now. I swear I see something like daily of her doing some deals. So closing deals, whatever, getting contracts signed. So we'll get into that. Jade, how's it going?
it's going great. Staying busy, closing deals.
There you go. Didn't you get one under contract like today or yesterday?
Yeah, we got a contract signed yesterday, and then I'm a realtor, so I have a new listing coming up this next week too.
Okay. Awesome. That's super exciting. So let's jump into it. Why real estate? Did you have somebody that like kind of pointed you in that direction, or did you just come across it? Like, how'd you get into it?
Yeah, yeah. So no, I never knew anyone in real estate. No one told me that's what I should do. I just Robert Herjavec, which is the Shark Tank guy. He's a big real estate investor, and he was coming through the town I was living in at the time, and or his team was, and they did a whole little free seminar thing telling you about real estate and going through all the ways. And then, of course, you pay to go to the next 3 day session. And at that seminar, it was just like a light bulb went off, and I was like, got to go to the next one. Went to the next one, and like, I'm doing this. This is what I need to be doing. So from there, I started wholesaling.
Awesome. How long ago was this?
That was 2019.
Okay. Awesome. So what was like the light bulb moment like when he came through? Like was it just like something he said, or was it just like the whole experience?
I think it was the whole experience. And I think, like, in that moment, I think I realized, like, what wealth was and what building wealth was, and that real estate was a proven path to get there. So I think it was just the whole entire experience. I was like, now I see. Like, it was just like a light bulb. I'd never been introduced to that. And so I had to get into it.
Okay, cool. I like hearing about like how people came across real estate because I had like that moment for me too, and it was just like I just because you don't really hear that you can be a real estate investor when you grow up, or like
Yeah.
you just don't hear anything about that. And so like when I had like a thought, I was like, dang, there might be something to that. So um
Yeah.
but that's super exciting. Yeah. So you started wholesaling. um how did that go? Because I know, like, we hear, we see it on social media, or we see wholesaling, and a lot of times it's like this like glorified thing. You'll get in, you'll make a bunch of money in like your first couple days. Like, really, how was it for you?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I was lucky in the sense of I got deals pretty quickly and made good money. It wasn't as easy as portrayed. It was definitely a hustle and a lot of just figuring out things as I went. So as soon as I got back home from the seminar, started driving for dollars any chance I got, started handwriting letters, and a seller just called me, and I just winged the whole thing. Didn't know what I didn't even know what a contract was. I just downloaded some random contract. I don't even remember what I said to her, but I think we connected well as people and built good rapport, and just figured it out as I went. But pretty quickly I got two deals that I made total 15 grand on. So that was plenty of proof of concept for me.
That's awesome. I love how you just went for it. That's cool that you learned about wholesaling kind of right off the bat too, because I started learning when I started learning about real estate. I just started learning about like long term rentals. So I'm like, all right, that's what it is. And then you start learning like there's so many different ways to make money in real estate. Like you have commercial and like storage and single family homes, multifamily, like so many different things. And then I was learning about long term rentals, and then I like months later like heard about wholesaling, and so I'm like, oh, okay, and then kind of dug in from there. But that's super cool. You were able to get your first two deals pretty quick. That proof of concept is unreal. I've like when
Yeah.
I experienced that, it was just like a year. So your first deal, where was that?
Or was it? Is that what you said?
Yeah, where was your first deal?
It was in San Angelo.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Place I know fairly well.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So you just got that driving for dollars then?
Yeah. Yeah. I was just driving around looking for ugly houses. I have the ugliest handwriting too. I was writing these on whatever note cards, and I don't know what I said. Probably, hey, I saw your house. Give me a call if you want to sell it. This lady called me and she was so sweet. She was like, I get letters all the time, but I thought it was so cute how you hand wrote this. I just had to give you a call. So we
Oh
built
wow.
really good rapport off the bat, and I locked it up and finally found a buyer.
Dang, that's so cool. I always like I always kind of think that like the handwritten stuff like is better, but it's tough to like write that
Oh my
many
God.
cards or notes like all the time. Like there's been a few that like I can't find like phone numbers for them or stuff like that, and so like I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna like send see if something happens, and I mean it hasn't for me yet, but I don't do
Yeah.
it too often. So that's cool that she like loved how you hand wrote it. So
I got lots
that's
of
awesome.
comments.
You got what?
I got lots of comments on that. Like lots of people, whenever they would call me, would make comments about how it was handwritten, and that's why they called.
Yeah, that's cool. That's super cool. So um what so after like you got that first deal, like what like changed for you, or what was like your biggest takeaway from that? Like obviously you got like the proof of concept, um and then like what was there, just like any other like realizations you had or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just proof that wholesaling was legit. It was proof that I could do it. It was proof that I could do it without even knowing much about it. It was proof that, I mean, making 10 grand on one deal that I spent maybe, I don't remember how long I spent on this deal, but just say 45 to 60 days. I made 10 grand. I mean, that was a big deal when, your parents make 40 grand or whatever. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, like this is something. I'm like, I can
Yeah,
make a lot of money doing this, even if you did it part time. I mean, you're going to make more than the average person does. So I think it was just proof of a lot of things. And it got me hooked. It got me 100% hooked on real estate.
that's so cool. Yeah, I had some similar thoughts with mine. I was just like, dude, like, I mean, if I did only a couple deals a year, like I'd be making more than I'm making now. And so then I'm like, if I focused all my time on it, then what could we achieve, So um that's awesome. And it's super cool to hear that you just kind of jumped in and went for it, like didn't know um like you knew enough, but like you said, you just downloaded some random contract. Like
Yeah.
that's cool because a lot of times we just overthink it. So
Yeah.
um
It's just
that's
like
awesome.
I mean, so whenever we left that seminar thing, I was so disappointed and so sad because at that seminar, they tried to upgrade you to like a $45,000 package or something where they're like, we'll show you everything. And so heartbroken that I couldn't do that. And I was like, you know what? Like, F this, I'm going to figure it out. And on top of that, like, my mom was like super like against it in terms of she was like, oh, like you're never gonna make that work. Real estate's for rich people, just like talking down. I was like,
Mm,
I'm about to prove myself and everybody else hella wrong. So I was on a mission.
that's crazy. That's awesome. And you're doing it. So that's exciting. Um, what was what was like one of your favorite deals? One that stands out that like maybe you just couldn't even believe happened, or I don't know, maybe it's the amount of money made, like it could be anything.
I would say that first one is still one of my favorites just because I really liked that seller. We got along really well. And I think not only was I excited by how much money I made, but I remember after closing, she was literally thanking me so much, you know, just telling me how grateful they
Oh wow.
were and how much I helped their family from getting this house gone. So that's like when it really hit me like, okay, this is more than just me making a lot of money. Like these people are grateful that I'm coming in and doing this for them. And like I can actually make a change and make good money. So there was just a lot of learning in that deal and just a lot of rapport and love built through that. So that was probably my favorite one.
That's very cool to hear because obviously like it's nice to make the money and stuff, but um, it's cool to help people, and especially in tough situations where other people maybe can't make it work. And obviously we focus a lot on creative finance, so that just brings like a complete different it's just a different ball game, and it provides different options. But it's also like reassuring because when you get in, you have those hard days where it's like things aren't working out, or you're not getting anybody on the phone, or deals aren't getting or offering like whatever it is. It's like reassuring to know that like there are people that like actually need a solution, and sometimes you may be the only person that can provide. So kind of is reassuring to like keep you going. So um
Definitely.
very cool. So what is it that like you want to accomplish in real estate? Like is it like um is there, do you want to like buy hold? Is there a certain amount of doors, or like is there like what's your main goal?
Yeah. Um, I feel like that's going to change so many times. Right now, I think it's wholesaling enough to go and buy a bunch of rentals and get that monthly cash flow coming in. And I have a interest in storage buildings. So I eventually, once I feel like I guess I'm set on single families, feel comfortable, have a good flow on purchasing those. I really want to venture into the storage units. It just seems like an interesting business concept. Seems like you're kind of like put it there and leave it type of investment. So those really interest me. I think the long-term goal is to venture into that. Multifamily, of course, is interesting in general. So just, building up the single families to get that cash flow to sustain my lifestyle and then moving on to the bigger investments and learning that side of things.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of like similar. It's like, and it's like completely fine if it changes, and there's always different routes, and you meet different people and business partners, and so it's always changing. But that's same with me. Is like I want to be able to wholesale, make enough money to like get into real estate full time, and pick up some rentals. And like you said, multifamily is interesting. I'm just like taking the steps. I feel like, obviously you can jump into like multifamily or storage, um, but I really like, the single family stuff that I'm working on right now, and creative finance and stuff. So it's a good place to start. So
I agree.
um, So what are you working on right now, like in your wholesale business? Because you're working on a team, right?
I am. Yeah, I'm on a team.
And
We
how?
mostly. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Oh, I was saying we mostly focus on low equity on market deals. So we're calling agents with on market properties and then, of course, trying to get them to send us off market properties as well. But a lot of what we're doing is low equity. A lot of them are behind on payments, or just, need to get out of the situation for whatever reason. We're starting to do some cash too, but still the main focus is low equity.
Okay. So why, for people that may be new to real estate, or um, maybe just don't understand, like, no equity, like, why would you be going after properties that don't have any equity?
The properties with no equity, I think for one, are kind of abundant right now on the market. And for two, those sellers just don't have a lot of options. So you're really coming in and providing a service to them because a lot of them are either walking away with, hardly any money, or a lot are having to bring a check to the closing table. Or like I said, they're behind, 3, 6 months on payments and need someone that can pay enough to catch all those up. And they're just not getting those offers. So they really need you to come in and bring them a creative solution to get it taken care of.
Yeah, because then the alternative would be foreclosure, short sale,
Yeah.
and nobody wants that. So, and it's a really cool, alternative to what people normally think with like traditional real estate. So,
Right.
um, so with the team you're working on right now, what do you mostly do?
I'm the I'm the everything person. No, I'm just kidding.
A little bit of everything.
I'm the lead manager, I would say. I work with a few callers directly and help them get their leads to the finish line.
Okay. So you guys have people that call, you get those leads, and then kind of just work on follow up, um, and kind of see them through then.
Yeah, yeah. Most of my
Okay.
days are just following up on offers that we've sent out.
Okay. Um, what has been like what's been like a challenging thing for you getting into real estate? Like what's been kind of one of the biggest hurdles?
I think finding a group of friends and a network that have the same goals and are doing the same thing. Like obviously being in Subto, there's a ton of people like that, but even joining Subto, it took me a long time to actually find friends and people that I started doing deals with. So I think that was something that I struggled with for a really long time, was just like finding my crowd, finding my people to have this journey with, and it's been the biggest game changer.
Yeah, I am similar. I was working on it for a little bit, and I just hadn't quite gotten um, you know a, a deal. And when you find like your friends and a community that like you can work with and bounce ideas off each other, get a second opinion on something, like it is definitely a game changer. And which brings me to my next thing. How did you get to, and have you been in it? And what is it? Because people may not know what Sub2 is.
Yeah, yeah. So Subto is Pace Morby's mentorship that is focused on creative finance, although there are a million other things within the mentorship. So, I mean, you'll never stop learning in that mentorship. It's been life changing. I've been in it for over a year. think I'm close to like a year and a half now. And why did I join? I think I found Pace on Bigger Pockets and started diving into his content. And at the time, I had not been in the real estate investing for a while. I was strictly had a W-2 and I was a real estate agent full time. And it was just at a point where I was like, I've always wanted to be in the vesting side. It's time for me to get back into that side. And then I found Pace and I was like, this is just game changer. This is where the market's going. I need to know this stuff, and just jumped right in.
That's cool. Yeah, there's so much to Subto, like not only the real estate, but he just created so many different ways to make money in there. And there's so many people you can connect with. And, he just opened up buying businesses creatively. And so I don't know if you've gotten into any of that, but it's definitely interesting. There's a lot to it. So what so we recently went to community camp up in Kalispell.
Yeah.
What was which was great. It was good to talk to you guys and like meet in person. And I had such a good time. I learned a lot, but like I learned a lot, but just like being there was like I was just blown away because I had learned from Jerry Norton, like, that's where I kind of first started learning about. Then I found out about Pace, but it's like being around those guys and being at Jerry's lake house, like I felt like I like manifested that, and it was just like it was crazy to see like just possibilities. They're normal people, and so I learned a lot. But just being there and around the people we were around was insane. But what were some of your takeaways from that, or like what were some of the connections you made? Like, how did that impact you?
Yeah. It was an amazing experience. I mean, there's just so many things to say about it. I would say that it was really cool to meet people that you've, talked to on Facebook or talked to on Instagram or had phone calls with. It was cool to meet everyone in person and get to have that face-to-face interaction. I think it helped just enlarge my vision overall, just saying how big they think, what they're accomplishing, and the goals they're setting, how much money was raised in that room. I mean, it was just made your vision just grow so much. I think something that I have taken away from it is on the first day, whenever Cody was talking about teams and running teams, and how he was talking about how your income will never surpass your personal development. I think that really hit everyone in the room. That was super powerful just to have that visual. And I think it was a good reminder. Don't start developing just because you're growing your business. You need to keep developing yourself. And not only that, he talked a lot about, pouring into the people around you, pouring into the people that you're working with, and making sure that they're also leveling up. So I think that's a big takeaway I had, is I wanted to come back and just start pouring into more people, more new people, more people on the team, and just, pouring back into what I know, bringing up that energy in them. So there was so many takeaways from that event. I wish we could go back and redo it.
Yeah, there really was. One of the big takeaways for me, I did love what Cody said, and I like another big takeaway was when Jerry was talking about like risk and like risk tolerance and just pushing to get to like the next level, not focusing on like what 5 levels up from now is going to be, but just like focusing on the next thing, and from there working on the next thing. And like those guys, that's what they've done. They've just focused on, whatever it was. Maybe it was wholesaling and, did some deals. Then they wanted to grow their company, do more deals. And then it was like fix and flips. And now Jared's about to finish his, like $5 million hotel renovation in Puerto Rico. So it's
Yeah.
cool to just be around people like that. And it like, I think we've got some crazy dreams. Like that's kind of how we are. And not a lot of people understand it sometimes, but what was cool was like being with those guys, like almost gave you like permission to like dream big, if that makes sense. Like being at Jerry's lake house and Jerry's brother's like farm and stuff. So just crazy. And like you said, that room, guys, there was like, I think it was like $530,000 raised for for Tim Ballard. I think it's called this. Is it called the Spear Fund, or is it called? I can't remember. But it's Tim Ballard. OUR is his, his thing with child trafficking and stopping that. So just cool to be around those people. So
yeah, I think it's like an eye opener in the sense of like it's more than just getting money, right? And like making yourself rich. It comes down to wanting to be that person in the room that can write a $50,000 check and not think twice about it. I think that was a huge mindset shift. Like I want to be that person that I can donate to what I feel strongly about and not have to like stress over this or not be the person in the room that can't raise my hand, So that was really eye-opening to see.
Yeah, I was say it's like you said, there were writing some big checks in that room, and there's people writing smaller checks, but and like I wasn't in the spot to do that at the moment, and like kind of sucked, and I was just like, but like you said, it's kind of like a mindset shift, and it's like, all right, we'll get there, and I can do other things to help in this situation, and we'll be able to write similar checks one day. So just a super good experience. So I just wanted to see what your takeaways were, because I'm at, and it wasn't even like just being with like Pace and Jerry and Brandon Turner, like all those guys. Like there were so many awesome people in Subto that that are just doing awesome things. And so to be, for me being newer in Subto, like at that point I was like, I think 3 months in, and I was able to meet, and make some good connections with some really awesome people in Subto.
Yeah.
Definitely a life-changing event for me, for sure.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
So what are some of your strengths? Like, just about closing. What can people come to, for you to help them?
Yeah. I think my strengths, I'm definitely a high visionary. I like to do these type of things. I like to be on the phone. What can people come to me for? Yeah, closing your deals. I can underwrite deals. I'm not like an extreme badass underwriter or anything, but I can underwrite deals. I think might slowly becoming like a connector. I'm getting better at that, better at making connections and better at connecting people together. What else? I don't know. I'd say mostly just helping people close their deals that they're struggling with, or closing those tough leads that are giving them a hard time is probably going to be my main strength right now, and the best way that I can help.
Okay. Yeah, that's super great skill to have, is to be able to kind of get in there when things are a little tricky and make it work. So, how can people help you or work with you?
You can. I have a deal submission link that people can submit deals to. You can DM me on Instagram. You can message me on Facebook too, but I'm definitely faster on Instagram at messaging back. But yeah, reach out to me on Instagram, say hi, send me your deal information. We can hop on a call and help you get some deals closed.
Awesome. No, that's great. Her Instagram is right there. I'm assuming that's probably the same as YouTube as well, and all the places. And thanks for coming on. I like I said, you're one of the first connections I had with Subto, and on a call we talked about that one in Abilene that I was close on, but
yeah.
I appreciate you jumping on with me, even though I was just kind of a nobody. So thank you, and I'll have to talk with you about another one that I was looking at that's kind of weird. So we'll talk about that later. But thank you. The podcasting thing is like kind of new. I kind of been working on another thing, in the motorcycle stuff that we do, but it's been good getting on here, and we're pace is pushing us a little bit, and I originally I wanted to do a podcast, and I kind of had some plans for it, and it just came sooner than I thought. So we're just rolling with it, and but it's been good, and I just thank you. I thank you for coming on, and hopefully we'll do another one sometime in the future. I know, like Pace says, we're all grown up together, so it'll just be cool to see where we're at. A couple of years from now, possibilities are endless. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, that's it. Go connect with Jade. She is awesome to close your deals, and we'll be on the next one.